Well, you already read the title. What if we told you that Carlos Alcaraz, at just 21 years old, has already eclipsed Rafael Nadal at the same age? Let that sink in for a moment. Nadal, the king of clay, a force of nature who redefined the sport with unmatched grit, power, and heart. He exploded onto the scene in 2005 at age 19, winning the French Open and starting a legacy that would include 14 Roland Garros titles. But now, fast forward to 2025. Alcaraz has already claimed 5 Grand Slam titles. That's across 3 different surfaces. These titles have accumulated earlier in his career than Nadal ever did. And let's be clear, Nadal's 2008 Wimbledon win at age 22 marked his only non-clay major in his first 8 Slam finals. But Alcaraz has done more, and done it younger, with more variety, and on more stages. The numbers speak volumes. Nadal had a single non-clay slam at 22. Alcaraz had 3 majors before turning 22. The trajectory? Alcaraz is light years ahead. 2003. At 17, Nadal wins the French Open junior title, quickly rumored as the next clay king. 2004, turns pro full-time, wins his first ATP clay title in Sopot at 18, ranked world number 49 by the season's end. Enter 2005 French Open, ranked number 51 in the world. Survives 2 5-setters before decimating Mariano Puerta 6-7, 6-3, 6-1, 7-5 to claim this title at age 19, becoming the youngest French Open men's champion in history. Follow it up with his first clay court title streak and a number 2 year-end ranking. Nadal defends his French Open in 2006 and 2007, and he wins his first non-Grand Slam on hard court at Montreal 2005. Makes his first Wimbledon final in 2006, losing to Federer, but claims the Wimbledon crown in 2008. At just age 22. By age 22, he had 3 French Opens, 1 Wimbledon, 4 slams altogether. He had titles on clay and grass, no hardcourt majors until later, an elite defender on clay especially, but was still mastering the hardcourt variations. Now 2020 to 2021, the teenage phenom emerges. Alcaraz bursts onto the ATP scene at just 17, winning ATP 500 Rio and a Masters 1000 Miami. In 2021, he wins his first Masters 1000 title in Madrid at 18. Ended 2021 inside the top 5. 2023 Wimbledon glory. He wins Wimbledon at just 20, defeating Novak Djokovic. Alcaraz becomes the youngest man to beat Djokovic in a Grand Slam final. During that match, he demonstrates stunning variety, drop shots, net charge, and baseline power. Then in 2024, he does it again, winning his second consecutive Wimbledon final. Let's be honest, Rafael Nadal was a monster on clay, especially early in his career. Between 2005 and 2008, he had won 4 consecutive Roland Garros titles, and lost only 2 matches on the surface across those 4 years. One of those losses was to Roger Federer in Hamburg in 2007, and the other an injury retirement. So we may not even count that. But here's the twist in this story. Nadal was almost exclusively dominant on clay in his early years. Yes, he made it to the Wimbledon final in 2006, and 2007, and even won it in 2008. But that transformation to a legitimate all-surface threat did not happen instantly. His first hardcourt slam title came in 2009, 4 years after his breakout. Carlos Alcaraz, by contrast, was already a 3-time slam champion, each on a different surface: US Open, Wimbledon, and Roland Garros. By age 21, he had achieved what Nadal took nearly a decade to accomplish. Even Djokovic, who is arguably the most complete player in tennis history, didn't win a slam on all 3 surfaces until 2016, when he finally won the French Open. Alcaraz's game translates everywhere, and that's terrifying. When people say Alcaraz is like a blend of the big 3, they're not just spouting hot takes. It's grounded in analysis. From Federer, he takes the all-court fluidity and touch, the drop shots, the angles, and the improvisation. From Nadal, he inherits the fierce topspin, especially on the forehand side, explosive athleticism, and a warrior spirit. And from Novak, he takes the return position, court positioning, sliding on hard courts, and elastic defense. What's stunning is how complete his game is already. Alcaraz's serve speeds in 2024 were averaging 121 on first serve, 101 on second serve, and he's winning over 73% of first serve points, comparable to Djokovic in his peak years. His return game is elite too. According to ATP statistics, Alcaraz was top 5 in break percentage on tour in 2023 and 2024, with over 30% of return games won. This isn't just raw talent, it's refined, measured, and coached to perfection. And the scary part, he's still getting better. Nadal is known for his mental toughness. Let's not pretend otherwise. He grinds, he suffers, he finds a way to win even when he's 2 sets down. His record in 5-set matches in the first half of his career was elite. But Alcaraz has shown a different type of mental strength. It's not the grind you down mentality that Nadal had. It's closer to Roger, where you might blink once and the match is already gone. Take the 2023 Wimbledon final against Novak Djokovic. Novak had not lost a match on center court since 2013. He was 34-0 in his last 34 matches there. Alcaraz dropped the first set 1-6 and looked out of his depth. And then, he did what no one else could. He out-Djokovic'd Djokovic. Alcaraz broke him after a 26-minute game in the third set and turned the match around. The final lasted 4 hours and 42 minutes, and Carlos was still chasing drop shots and hitting forehands at 130% speed. That match wasn't just about shot making, it was belief, audacity, swagger, fearlessness. Things the 90s-born players often lacked when facing the big three. Now let's talk about who Nadal had to beat in the early stages of his career versus Alcaraz. Rafa's early main rivals were a declining Andre Agassi, Roger Federer in his prime, and Novak Djokovic, who wasn't truly elite until 2011. When Nadal was breaking through, Federer was the lone king. Djokovic and Murray were still growing, and Alcaraz, on the other hand, is breaking through during the sunset era of the big three, which many assume is easier, but it's not, because the field is deeper than ever. Players like Jannik Sinner, Daniel Medvedev, Alexander Zverev, Casper Ruud, and Holger Rune. These guys aren't legends, but they're brutal to play. They all hit big, defend well, and fight hard. Alcaraz isn't facing a weakened field. He's fighting against the highest baseline level in tennis history. Let's not underestimate this. Nadal was beloved, especially in Spain, but Alcaraz is a global superstar already. His charisma is effortless, his interviews are electric, he smiles, he fist pumps, he jumps into the crowd, he's fun. He's not just a tennis player, he's become a crossover star. And when tennis enters a post-Big Three era, this stuff matters a lot. Now let's get controversial. If you took 2008 Rafael Nadal and put him on the court against 2024 Carlos Alcaraz, what happens? The Nadal of 2008 had the most dominant clay game ever, a developing hard court chops, occasional vulnerability to power hitters, i.e. Marat Safin, while Carlos Alcaraz has a complete game on all surfaces, better hands at the net, a more diverse serve, a backhand that doesn't break under pressure, and fearlessness on the biggest points. Here's the real kicker. Carlos isn't just fast. He may be the fastest player ever recorded in tennis. Look, we're not saying Nadal isn't an all-time great. He's the king of clay, a 22-time slam winner and one of the most respected competitors in sports history. But if we're talking about age-to-age comparison, surface versatility, modern adaptability, and match toughness, Carlos Alcaraz is already ahead. Alcaraz has done in 3 years what it took Nadal nearly 7 to accomplish. He's not just Nadal 2.0, he's Nadal, Federer, and Djokovic compressed into a 21-year-old phenom. We may be watching the start of the greatest career the sport has ever seen. Hey, if you've made it this far into the video, you're clearly a real one. Someone who loves tennis as much as we do. So here's what we want from you. Drop a comment below and tell us, do you think Carlos Alcaraz is already better than peak Nadal? Or are we getting carried away? Smash that like button if you believe the Alcaraz era is officially here. But what do you think? Are we overestimating Alcaraz's ability? Could he really surpass the likes of Rafael Nadal? Let us know in the comments below if you disagree or agree with our take. We'll see you next time.